Greetings and salutations. This is Geek Talk, and I am Cybertron-X. Today I'm going to review one of my Kamen Rider roleplay belts. This was based on the Kamen Rider that came out in 1999. It's Kamen Rider Decade. And what's the cool thing about this, it actually incorporated the past riders into itself. It's sort of like branching out and before it goes into the new era. Now, this is what's part of the Heisei Riders. The Heisei Riders are anywhere in the 1990s. Anything prior to that and through the 80s and further, those were called the Showa era. Now, this is Kamen Rider Decade's Deca-Driver, and that is his main transformation device. It's pretty cool. It does include the emblems of the other riders. Including, I'm going to go around by piece, Agito, or Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Fives, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den-O, and Kiva. I actually have a Kabuto belt, the Den-O belt, and the Kiva belt. Two of those you've actually seen. The Kabuto belt I have is not the main rider, but that's a review that I've already done. Let's turn this thing on. The on and off switch is here, and the microphone's here, so I'm hoping that my camera can pick up any of the sounds. To activate it, you flip open like that and you get a sound. You close it, you get that sound. And that's just a default sound. Now, the cool thing about this, it incorporates these. These are the cards that allows Decade to transform. Now, I've put these all in order of appearance in the show, the Heisei era, with Decade being first. So I'm going to go through all the cards. The front of the card has a picture of the rider, and on the back of the card is a emblem of the rider. Goes through all of them. So let me show you first. We have Decade, Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Fives, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den-O, and finally Kiva. Now, when I place these in the belt, you're going to hear some noises. And when you put in one of these cards, you'll get a brief henshin sound of that belt, or of that rider. And then it will say the name and then the henshin sound. So it's actually pretty cool. But let's start with Decade, because, you know, it's Decade. And 1 second, I dropped one of the cards. Alright, let's open it up. Put the card in. Now, Decade has a little bit more of a sound because, you know, he's the main rider. Well, let's go on. And that's a cool sound when you pull it out as well. Let's go with Kuga. I'm going to do all of them real quick. Agito. Yeah, that one's a little short. Next up, Ryuki. It's a simplified henshin sound, so that's actually pretty cool. Fives. Now, the only thing I don't like about Fives is when Fives transforms, before he does it, here's standing by. You don't get that sound with this. You just get his final transformation sound. Now for Blade. Beaky. Now this is one of my personal favorite sounds. I just love that drum sound effects. Next up, Kabuto. One of my personal favorite Kamen Riders, Den-O. I love that sound effect. And finally, Kiva. And that's all the transformation cards that I have. Now there is a website out there that you can download some of the other cards and print them up if you have a card stock. I did that, but in the process of moving some stuff around, the majority of my cards got damaged. So I need to print them up again. But this time I want to print them up in a better card stock and actually get them laminated. And maybe add a little extra if I can do that. Now, overall, the belt is rather nice. If you can get it, it's probably still a little on the cheaper end if you can find like sellers that are selling it, because it's an older belt. There's other things I want to get for it, but right now they're just out of my price range, including the Ride Bookers, something to hold the cards, and the K-Touch. But more of that later if I'm able to get it. Do I recommend getting this belt? Only if you're a fan. A lot of people was not a huge fan of the show. I was. I kind of enjoyed it. But if you want to start into Kamen Rider, Den-O or Decade is one of the ones you can watch and get a feel of the other riders. It's a nice little thing. It's a nice little toy. I'm CybertronX. This has been Geek Talk Reviews, and this is full henshin bacon.